bomb shelter. I'm going to come at you with a little race report here. I'm going to start doing these on video instead of writing them up on the website. I'll still post them on the website. They'll be on our YouTube, so be sure to check those out. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little update on the car, a race report from Visions. As you can see over there, we got third place in the 4900 Open class. Super excited about that. My first time podium in Ultra 4 or in off-road racing period, so very excited. If I can get one more third place, I can make a 33 on a shelf somewhere, so definitely be shooting for that in the next couple races. Yeah, so you can see I already got the car apart a little bit. I'll get to that at the end of the video, but after Kentucky, obviously, Kentucky did not go my way. Casslake and I worked really hard to get the car done and ready for Kentucky. I was still working on a few things when I got there, figuring out wiring and stuff. I hadn't driven the car yet, so I was trying to get some seat time. And unfortunately, before that wreck, I wasn't able to get any seat time, and I went out there and wrecked it. And getting ready for Visions, I actually found the issue that probably caused me to buck like I did at Kentucky. So Casslake, again, worked very hard after Kentucky, getting the whole rear bumper cut off and redone so I could make it to Visions. I had to redo the front A-arms and some wiring stuff, so it was kind of messy, but we got it done and got the car to Visions. Visions was my first time getting any seat time in the car, so I pre-ran a lot. I did 10 laps plus of pre-running with our friends Aaron, JT, my dad, Two-Fang racing with us, Jeremy, our new teammate, Eric, a bunch of us out there pre-running the course. I got a bunch of laps in. I did find out that my rear sway bar was making contact with the trailing arm and not allowing the shock to work, so that's kind of what caused the wreck. So I had to pull the sway bar off for the race. I pulled it off before even pre-running much. I did one little bit of pre-running and found that out. I did have a lot of issues with my injectors again, so we pulled the injector lines off, cleaned them out, put them in a water bottle. It wasn't any dirt or anything. I cleaned the injectors every couple laps of pre-running, and I ended up getting some injectors from AJ Stratman. So huge shout out to AJ and Phil for helping me get the car running. I got those put in the morning of qualifying and was able to pre-run qualifying, qualify, which we just posted a video up on YouTube. I qualified with about 57 seconds, which put me middle of the pack and taken off the line with our friend JT in the Teal RS1. And then I went and pre-ran one more lap after qualifying, and we did the whole race with no fuel or injector issues, so that went really well. The car is a turbo drivetrain with the Aftermarket Assassins tune. Super happy with the Aftermarket Assassins tune they set up. The car runs super cool with the new radiator setup. I got the Trinity exhaust, so it makes plenty of power for me. I don't think I need much more power. Put it down onto the 33-inch Race XRs from MRT on muscle race wheels. Zero flats in qualifying or the race, and a lot of people are losing tires and stuff. So very fortunate there. Getting into the race, JT did whole shot me, getting off the line. He had a little video. I was able to stay on his bumper in the woods, and you know my video will show some of it too that I'll post up at first lap 1 of Visions. Then once we got to the next clearing, it's kind of a high-speed section, and the turbo kicked in, and I was able to get around JT. He knew I was coming, so he let me get by, and then he stuck on me in the woods until he had his unfortunate failure. We did, on lap 2, start running into issues with the steering, so it slowed me down. I ran about a 16:48 lap 1, which wasn't real fast, but it was a decent pace, and I knew I could pick it up. I was still getting in the right mindset, getting used to the car, being back in race conditions since the wreck and everything. So unfortunately, I got slowed down on lap 2. Once I started lap 3, I went into pits where Zach, the East Coast Cowboys, Talon, who helps out Aaron and I and everybody in the pits. Zach's co-driver was in there. We had some other guys from some other teams. Everybody helping out. I pull in and I'm like, doing the steering wheel, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, man, I can't, it's not steering very well. It feels like a landing yacht or something, like I'm driving a boat. And so they're like, Zach's like, well, stop steering it. I see what's wrong. He's like, you got your steering box pretty much isn't mounted anymore, which turned out I had 1 bolt out of the 5 left in the steering box, still holding it in. And that's why my box was moving like a couple of inches every direction when I was trying to steer. So I'll never forget kind of what he said, especially given the how I finished the race. He's like, you can finish this race like it is, you just gotta slow down and take care of the car. So that's what I did. Laps 3, 4, and 5 were 19 and 20-minute ranges, so I slowed down 3 or 4 minutes a lap for the last 3 laps. Attrition was getting a lot of people, so I was still seeing my competition on the side of the course. So I knew as long as I could keep moving, I would get a decent finish. So that's what we did. The whole time, radios didn't have no issues. I got rugged radios; they're awesome. I got the Warren winch, which I didn't have to use, but Warren, shout out to Sergio and his co-driver who were out there from Warren. They helped me get my winch working while I was out there. It wouldn't spool inward; it would only spool outward. So they got me going so I could meet the new rule for Ultra 4 and have my winch working for the race, which was awesome. And Sergio even finished first in his class, 4600. So shout out to those guys. Dalton clutch kit, no belt issues. I've been running this clutch kit the whole time. Love Dalton clutch kits. It's adjustable, so I can set it for the tires and horsepower that I got. Super happy with them. Obviously, I got a brand new sway bar, which is off right now. I'll be redoing that mount so I can put it on. Not having a sway bar was a huge problem for us, and definitely want to have the sway bar back on there and where it's not making contact with a trailing arm. Kryptonite, I got Kryptonite tie rods, radius rods, wheel bearings, wheel studs, lug nuts. Kryptonite stuff is awesome. Never had an issue with Kryptonite stuff that's ever hurt me in a race. So the way that those tie rods and FK rod and Hines that Kryptonite sends with their tie rods held on with the steering box the way it was, and it was making contact with everything inside the front end. The way it held up was just amazing, so that's awesome there. We also got OGIO who helps us get packed out with all our gear, and obviously Casslake, who this build wouldn't have been possible without them. I wouldn't be driving the Turbo RS1 and I wouldn't have a trophy without the help from Casslake Metal and the Falk family over there. So pretty awesome, but we'll get the steering fixed, the sway bar fixed, and do a couple other prep things, gonna do some wiring, and we'll be ready for Visions, or for Pennsylvania. I just got back from Visions. And then last but not least, if my wife made it all the way through this video, I gotta give a huge shout out to my wife, Lindsay, who helps me make all this possible, supports me in my dreams and motivates me to keep going and working at this, and really makes it possible. So thanks, Lindsay, and thanks for working overtime so I can keep racing the rest of the year after I spend all our money building this car. So gotta thank Elka. So we got Elka shocks on here this year. So the newest sponsor this year. Worked with George at Double E getting the shock set up. He was at Visions and helped us get the shock set up. So driving with these shocks versus my old OEM Walker Evans were night and day difference. This car can handle so much more rough terrain, and with what Ultra 4 is going to throw at us this year, super excited to see what we continue to do with Elka shocks and the way George got it set up. Double E Racing, their first class, they were at the race. They helped us get a ride height right, get our crossovers right. I didn't tell them I was going to be there and didn't set up an appointment or anything. So it's pretty awesome of them to help us out at the race. So huge shout out to those guys. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna start doing videos like this. I am gonna do a walk around video when I get a chance. When I probably want to get the car back together, we're gonna do some more ride and get some more seat time between races. Try to be better about that. And so I'll do a walk around video of the car, let us know what else you want to do. Hit us up in the comments. Ways I can improve. You want more live videos? There's certain things you want to see. I just got the shop kind of cleaned up. If you want to see how we kind of what we work out of. Obviously, I don't have lights in here. I'm using a stand-up light plugged into the house, so we're still doing this on a pretty small budget. So yeah, let us know and do what we can. Thank you for watching and supporting us, and more to come.